Hello, everybody. Wanted to make a YouTube video. I've been thinking about this lately. That something I've kind of known for a while is that there's a difference spiritually between humans. How we're in duality, how we have a higher nature and a lower nature, right? So you can choose to live in one of these natures or both of them. But if you want to be consistent, you have to live in one of them. And as you get older, you kind of choose to be more on one side than the other, the light side or the dark side. I've chosen to be on the light side, right? So one thing I've noticed is that, spiritually speaking, light makes a man strong because the darkness is nothing to him. But darkness makes a man weak because the light is too much for him. It's too much. Like, if you're a man of the light, the darkness is too small, too shallow, too thin, too narrow to really do anything with. You don't really want to be around it. And if you're a man of the dark, light is too big and too long and too thick, and it goes too deep, and it's too much. Like, I'm making a video. Yeah, sure. That was my girlfriend. But, so to a person of the darkness, the light is like, seen as crazy or obnoxious or too bright or too colorful or too fast or annoying or too loud. And fact of the matter is, they can't handle it. And a person of light, darkness is pathetic. It's pitiful, right? You pity it. So you're either on one side or the other. And I really don't think you can get a big picture perspective being in the dark. Because when you're in the darkness affects you. It can make you depressed and scared and angry because it feels huge because you're making yourself small. But if you step into the light and you can grow, because there's nothing stopping you from growing, because light destroys darkness, right? So there's nothing stopping you from growing. So the darkness will be nothing. It won't make you depressed. It won't make you worried or paranoid. It'll make you a bit angry. It'll make you almost sympathetic towards it, or maybe you will be indifferent towards it. But it won't have this giant negative effect on you anymore because you've chosen to live in the light. So you're stronger, and that stuff just doesn't affect you anymore. So you really are happier living in the light. Like when I talk about God and stuff, God doesn't want you to be poor in any way. He doesn't want you to be poor spiritually. He doesn't want you to be poor in health, physically. And he doesn't want you to be poor psychologically or emotionally. And he doesn't want you to be poor prosperity-wise either. He wants you to be rich in every way. That's why the saying, make my cup overflow, right? The devil wants you to be poor psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, in every way, physically, health-wise. He wants you to be lustful. He wants you to be a thief. He wants you to be a murderer. He wants you to be just a really big sinner, right? So, if you want consistency, God has to be the opposite. So God actually wants you to be wealthy and have love and have all these things. Yeah.
Do you know where my phone is?
It's right down by your feet.
No, right over there.
Because it was on your chest.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to leave it there.
So where is it then?
Did you find it? Okay, good. She's looking for her phone. But that's just an observation that I've made in life. is that the longer you stay in the light, the more comfortable you get with it. Because at first, remember, you're either on one side or the other. So when you step into the light, it does feel crazy and obnoxious and irritating and too big, and it goes on for too long because it's a part of eternity, because it's light. God is the Father of many lights. The Bible actually says that, the Father of lights. It says God is the Father of lights. So, and there's no darkness in him. So of course at first your primal nature is going to conflict with your spiritual nature, but that's the whole point, is that when you feel sad, you don't just let everybody know how sad you are, because that's animalistic. Your emotions, if you let them dictate what you say and do, you can't be in the light. It just doesn't work. You need to master yourself, right? So that's really all there is to it. So at first, the light will be scary, too long, too big, too wide. It'll just be too much, right? But if you just step into it and commit to it, as scary as that is, because people are afraid of the light. But when you really commit to it, and as hard as it does get easier. It does get less scary. And eventually, you grow in the light. You become a part of it. The darkness in you dwindles down. It subsides. And it doesn't grow anymore because there's too much light, right? So it can't grow, because that's not how darkness works. Darkness can't eliminate light. Light can eliminate darkness. So you can have a very big impact on the darkness in the world by shining bright, because you destroy darkness just by walking into someplace. But a person of darkness cannot walk into a room of light because they'd be destroyed. So people of darkness are fragile, and they're self-destructive. They're lustful. They're just crazy. Okay? So it's better to be in the light. And I'm seeing an overflow of people who need to come to the light. And that's what I've been noticing. There's too much nihilism. There's too much carelessness and pessimism. You need to start your life. Your life doesn't begin until the light hits it. Nothing happens in the dark. Nothing happens. Little things happen here and there, but it's pretty much boring. It's pretty much the same thing over and over again. In the light, that's where excitement is. That's where adventure is. That's where wisdom is and experience is. That's where learning is, education is in the light. That's where dreams actually come true, is in the light. So that's what I wanted to say. That's tonight's video. Okay? Just something to ponder on, something to think about, is that if you step into the light, you will not regret it. It doesn't matter if you feel like you're not ready. You're never going to be ready. If you let light into you, it'll work on you, and it'll rearrange your heart to the right places, and it'll fix you. It'll build you up, and it won't tear you down. It'll tear down some delusions, but that's a good thing. So, yeah. I will also be making a statement about Eugenia Cooney. I will. Anyways, it's election night, so looking at the election. But I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So, 1,000. So like, subscribe, and share. Hit the bell icon. Share with all your friends and family. Leave a compliment down below. Remain respectful in the comment section down below. My social media is in the description down below. And thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I love you guys, and I'll be back in a flash. Thank you for watching so much. I appreciate it.